would you not go for it? Why would you not take a chance? At one point in time, you got to take a chance on you.
Welcome everybody to the new studio of the Off the Cuff Conversations podcast here in my home. When we bought the place, my wife was like, what the hell are we going to do with this big ass room? Luckily, this was already in the works and I had the idea to do this. And shout out to her for getting me this awesome neon sign. We heard you're not official until you have a neon sign behind you that came from somewhere, someplace. So now we're official and shout out to her for that. I'll talk about the design a little bit and kind of where I want to take this podcast, how it came about and all that stuff. I know off the cuff conversations, that's not something original, not claiming to be, we couldn't trademark any of that stuff. But the design itself, when you look at it, especially in the intro, it's a person who has the key, who's releasing themselves from the handcuffs. It has a couple different meanings. For me, back in 2018, I was going through a police academy here in Texas. And for a couple different reasons, things just didn't line up. And I didn't end up staying, even after being there for a little while. But oddly enough, that was the last time that I was ever under W-2 employment. And that was the last time that I was ever told, hey, you're worth X amount an hour. Since then, I have found different ways to take my skill sets and things that I've done in the past and buy my own freedom with that. Certain things that I've been able to do have made it to where I no longer have to be tied to 8 to 5 or a specific hour structure of work. And it's been very cool. It's allowed me to create things like this, do something like the podcast, and just a bunch of different other things that the free time allows me to do. So in that, breaking free from the handcuffs, just a small nod to my very, very short time with, being involved with the police department. And the other meaning to me is wanting to find people who have broken free of the safety of salaries. And the safety of salaries is, when I look at it, when I think about it, it's very, I think, very individualized. Some people get taught that you got to find a good job and that's how you're going to sustain a family and build a future. And that is very true. And then I have found, especially being in Texas, that other people cannot work for others. They're just not taught that. That's not what's around them when as they're growing up. So there's the entrepreneurial spirit here in Texas is very big. And it rubbed off on me. It took me a long time to figure out what profits are better than wages meant. Or at least how to implement it into my own life. And I think that's Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. If it's not him, then he quoted it in his book, or it might be him directly. I apologize for not researching it properly. But that's something that's always been in the back of my head. And something that's always driven me, and I've wanted to go that direction, but it wasn't until I left that last W-2 kind of section of my life where I was like, you know what, I think this is the starting point where I can kind of take charge and be in charge of my own compensation. And luckily it's paid off. I'm super fortunate. Everything that I've done, a couple setbacks here and there, but that's to be expected. And I want to bring other people on to share their stories, share what drove them to leave, share what their life was like when they were an employee, what they thought about that, being told, hey, you're worth XYZ an hour, and basically what drove them over the edge. Because I realize a lot of it, or a lot of people who start their own thing just come from a situation where they either couldn't take it anymore of the situation that we're in, or they couldn't take not chasing their dreams any further. So that's it's kind of a common theme with some of the people that I've talked to and some of the people that we'll have on. So that's it. That's the off the cuff. Hopefully you can look at the thumbnail again and kind of check it out. Shout out to Eric Sylvester. He's the artist who created it for me. He's an awesome human. He's dealt with me a lot, and I put his handle on there as well. If you got any art projects or anything you want to create, reach out to him. He's a really good guy. As far as sponsors for the podcast, I will talk about all of our sponsors at the end. I don't know about you guys, but I cannot stand, just truly cannot stand when I'm listening to something and then they stop and they talk about their sponsor and then they keep going. probably just a personal thing. And I understand why they do it, as people are still engaged and you want to get at your sponsorships. But hopefully people are stick around, and all of our businesses are going to be either veteran or LEO owned, or there's going to be something about them that's special in their own specific way. So stick around towards the end of those podcasts. We'll talk about each one of them. Excuse me. Other than that, if you want to be on, reach out to us. We'll try to get you down here in the McAllen area. As long as you like dogs, because my dog's going to jump all over you and be super happy that you're here. There he is right there. He's going to scratch. He doesn't have fleas, I promise. He just dry skin or something. Anyway, yeah, that's it. Thanks a lot for checking us out. Check out the page, subscribe to the page, do all that stuff. If you want to be a sponsor, reach out to us. You don't have to give us any money. I don't want your money. I'm super fortunate, blessed, lucky, whatever you want to call it, to be able to not need your money. We just want to showcase different products out there and talk about them and really promote others. One thing that I found before I let you go is the more that I genuinely want others to succeed and do little things like and share, or just little things like that, I've noticed in a weird way, call it voodoo, call it horoscope, call it whatever you want to call it, my success grows from actually wanting to be the kind of person that wants others to succeed. Again, I don't know what it is. I don't know what to call it. Maybe just the universe. But yeah, so that's all it'll be. If you want to be a sponsor, hopefully we're so stacked up to where we got to do different sponsors every podcast. And we'll talk about you guys. Thank you for everything. And check out Redefine Violence with the _ right here on Instagram. We'll post it up as well. And let us know what you guys think. Later. All right, guys. The first sponsor to the podcast is Grind Ops Coffee Co. I know there's a lot of different coffee companies out there, but the guy who runs this, he's a super awesome human being. He served his country in a great capacity. I don't want to put his whole bio out there, but go check them out. Go check him out on Instagram, on their website, and all that stuff. This coffee makes you want to go through the hassle of actually brewing some good, what's it called? The one where you pour over and all that stuff. I take it camping with me. He use it here at the house. It's really freaking good. I don't know how he does it, but he does some wizardry spells on it, and it actually tastes amazing. So go check him out. He's going to be the next big thing in grocery stores, especially here in Texas. So yeah, shout out to Grind Ops Coffee Co. All right, our next sponsor is Florida Man Hot Sauce. And a smile comes to my face when I talk about these guys, because it turns out we actually served in some of the same units in the military, and then we ended up linking up and serving in some other different capacities in different parts of the world. So yeah, you should go check these guys out. They created something that tastes amazing and is super cheap. They wanted to create something where you're not paying $14, $18 per a hot sauce bottle. And if you're in the military, man, there's nothing better than pouring some good sauce on that nasty tasting MRE. So go check out Florida Man Hot Sauce. I'll post their website, post their handle, post all that stuff. You're not going to be disappointed. They're a veteran-owned business, and they're freaking pretty awesome. So thank you.